Welcome to another lecture series on LAUTECH Open and Distance Learning Center. This is MKT 318, Public Relations in Organizations. I'll be taking you through study section 1, that is Nature of Public Relations. Public relation practice is a course designed to teach students the strategic approaches to public relations practice. However, it is important to first understand public relations concepts before delving into the practice. This study session therefore will expose you to a brief conceptual overview of the meaning and essence of public relations. At the end of this study session, you should be able to define public relations, discuss the functions of public relations, describe the factors influencing the growth of public relations, explain the educational qualifications required to practice public relations in Nigeria, as well as discuss personal skills for public relations. Meaning of public relations. Since public relations is a growing and dynamic industry, there are various definitions and perceptions of this field. However, there is still no final universally accepted definition of public relation. Over the years, a number of definitions of public relations have been proposed, some of which are recognized by authoritative bodies in public relations. According to Nwosu 1996, there are more than 600 standard and acceptable definitions of public relations in the world. This implies that there are several other definitions of public relations that are not considered standard and acceptable. Hence, public relations is the management process whose goal is to attain and maintain accord and positive behaviors among social groupings on which an organization depends in order to achieve its mission. Its fundamental responsibility is to build and maintain a hospitable environment for an organization. Hence, public relations can be defined as the ethical and strategic management of communication and relationship in order to build and develop coalitions and policy, identify and manage issues, and as well as create messages to achieve sound outcomes within a socially responsible framework. Functions of public relations. It is important to note that public relations as a profession plays enormous roles in both corporate and societal lives. Hence, the functions of public relations are discussed below. 1. It identifies, interprets, and evaluates public opinions, attitudes, and feelings about prominent individuals, corporate organizations, governments, and the entire community. It also imitates, plans, and executes special events or programs on short, medium, and long-term basis for the purpose of winning public consent and or sympathy for a noble cause. 3. It sufficiently informs various publics about the policies, activities, as well as the future plans of governments, organizations, and community leaders. It is engaged in conflict and management and crisis settlements and warding off negative trend and press reports likely to mark the image and reputation of an organization, government, and the entire community. It also provides level playing ground for healthy interactions between management of an organization and or the government functionaries and their respective public and subjects. It maintains favorable relationship between an organization and the mass media, and by so doing, it guards against engaging in negative and damaging mass media war. It helps to balance organizational vis-a-vis government interest with that of the public subject for optimum relation. Lastly, it strives to achieve safe organizational social climate by engaging in community relations needed to enhance business motives of corporate organizations. Factors influencing the growth of public relations. Some of the major factors influencing the growth and practice of public relations include 1. Technological advancements, increase in the number of sufficiently educated middle class, growth of organizations, advancements in social science researches, and lastly, the professionalization of public relations. Now let's take this one after the other. Technological advancements. This means that it provides enabling investment for mass production and distribution and marketing in addition to providing resources for efficient and effective organizational communication and more specific audiences. Two, increase in the number of sufficiently educated middle class who to a large extent are conscious of the world around them and desperate, they are desperate at getting information about people and the organizations. The growth of organizations like private and public sectors, government agencies and corporations, trade unions, voluntary organizations, and sundry organizations also influence people's lives. 4. Advancements in social science researches, which has led to systemic accumulation of reliable, dependable, and sophisticated data needed to plan, execute, and evaluate public relations campaigns, as well as interpret public opinions and sentiments. The last is the professionalization of the public relations to the extent and the public relations regulatory bodies now exist at local, national, and at the international levels. Educational qualifications required to practice public relations in Nigeria. There are two major educational qualifications that are required to practice public relations in Nigeria. One is the technical qualities and two is the normative qualities. The technical qualities has to do with standard knowledge and skill that is required to practice public relations in Nigeria. But in the case of the normative qualities, the emphasis is usually on the moral and the psychological qualities of public relations practitioners. I hope you had a wonderful time listening. Thank you.